Welcome back to the Small Talk Sunday podcast with your hosts, William Parks, Joshua Brandon, Jack Hampton, and Jared. Yes, we're going to just kind of talk about a bunch of random stuff today, really. It's not even really random. We have a good little podcast kind of set up here for us. Really, what are we really going to talk about? I guess the first thing we're going to kick off with and just start talking about is what this is about.
By the way, let me just shout you out. I love the welcome back, and this is the first episode ever. You killed the intro.
Of course, you got to do it.
We got to loosen up.
Well,
we're here.
You got to loosen up. We got to figure out. I got to figure out how I'm going to introduce this thing every time. Honestly,
I thought you did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot better than I would.
We may change it a little bit. How about we just alternate every time someone introduces it? Just makes an intro.
Yeah, but JB would definitely mess it up.
JB,
but we won't let him touch it.
That'll be interesting if I try to do it.
Ever since you hit 40K on Instagram, bro, you're just way too cool
he's
for
just
us,
going
man.
hard over there.
It's wild.
I bet. But yeah, going back to what you said, what we're going to talk about, it's kind of just ranting to each other, just the boys talking. That's why I call it Small Talk Sunday, because we're just talking with each other. Facts. Nothing too serious about it. Just topics that come to our mind that we want to talk about. We rant, have a discussion about it. No real structure to what we're actually going through with it.
Right.
As you can see.
Yeah.
It's like so I guess on the basis of everything, this is a podcast not so much about, hey, here's a structured presentation that we're going to talk about. Here's I'm big in cybersecurity. I have podcasts and stuff about cybersecurity. This is something we're just going to talk man to man and just talk about life. Yeah. Things that people don't sometimes necessarily really want to talk about or think about talking about. So,
and the thing is, this is such a niche that needs to be talked about because men don't talk about their feelings. They don't talk about insecurities or what's going on in each other's lives. And that's why men, you see depression rates and everything else higher than women because they don't vent to each other and say, hey, I do need help.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. So, honestly, that's kind of the basis of what the podcast is about. So first off, thank you for listening if you're still here and we haven't already turned you off from the intro. But should we just go ahead and kick off?
Yeah, let's just introduce ourselves.
Before we do that,
everything,
make sure you like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is on any platform. If this is your first time seeing us, make sure we always got to plug that in before we...
You got to plug that in.
It's always
just
a plug.
plug it.
It's always a plug.
Creator at heart, man.
It's got a creator mindset.
It's always a plug. It's always a plug. But you guys want to follow what we're doing because I think this podcast is going to do big things.
For
sure. I think just us talking like this, open discussion, where we're going to be having it today, you guys are going to see. I think it'll be doing big things.
Start of something great, man. And everybody starts at zero, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be something great for sure.
Yeah. So let's go into introductions. We'll start from Will's side.
All right, guys. So I'm William Parks. I work in cybersecurity. I've been friends with these gentlemen since college. I guess it was back sophomore year?
Yeah, about 4 years now.
About 4 years. About 4 years now. And so, work in cybersecurity. Have a couple podcasts that kind of surround in cybersecurity. They kind of focus on cybersecurity, and truthfully, just glad to be here with these gentlemen because we're all just sharing things together and just living life together.
You could have left your hand there.
So, I'm done. That's really all about me.
All right, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. Joshua Brandon. I go by JB on a lot of my platforms. Fitness and Christian content creator is what I like to do now. I'm also an engineer working at a nuclear plant, so that's a little bit about me.
Nuclear content creator.
Nuclear content creator. That's what they call me.
Content creator.
Been friends with Jared since what was that, sixth grade?
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. So friends with Jared since sixth grade. Jack, my freshman year, Will, sophomore year. These are some of my best friends. So making sure we do a podcast with all of these guys together, it's special. I love it.
It's amazing because I'm hearing the freshman year, sophomore year, 4 years, 5 years for you two, and it's just I couldn't imagine life without you guys. It doesn't even feel like I don't remember high school. But anyways, are you done with yours?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'll go into mine while I'm ranting. Did you write down notes for that, by the way?
No.
Okay, I thought you were looking at notes to introduce yourself. That's why me and Jay were laughing.
I don't really remember what I do.
Yeah, it is what it is, bro.
We just winging the intro. We winging the introduction.
Winging everything, bro.
We're winging it.
Hey, we're here for it.
Yeah.
I'm Jack Hampton. I go by Hampton Sports on TikTok, YouTube. I'm a sports content creator. I'm about to go full time into it. I worked a part-time job after college. I had to sublease an apartment, pay for that. Went into a little bit of debt for it, but now I'm going to be crawling my way out of that, finally going full-time YouTube on TikTok. And just, everything you guys said, y'all are my best friends, and anything you guys want to do, and I'm all for it.
Love it. Clap it up for that.
Clap it.
I'm Jared Jasper. I'm an aerospace engineer, not a creator or anything yet, but maybe aspiring to
Hey,
be.
we on the come up.
We might be.
On the come up.
I think you're doing a lot better being an aerospace engineer. I think you're making plenty of money.
We gotta find a little niche to get into for the creator side. But yeah, known these boys for a while. Known JB for 12 years probably.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So just glad to be here.
Awesome.
Really excited about this.
Good stuff, Jared. There's potential here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just have that host voice, bro.
That host voice. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Small Talk Sunday.
And now we go to a commercial break.
All right, you want to go to the topics and everything?
Yeah. We'll hit it. We'll hit
Let's
it.
get it.
So, I guess JB, we'll kick off with what you were kind of thinking first. So, I guess the premise is every week so this podcast only happens once a week, and throughout the week we all kind of think of things we want to talk about and share with you guys. Mainly just because it actually gives you good content, and we're not just gonna be sitting here just talking about random stuff. Although that still happens.
All about the
But
content.
it's still gonna for the content, But so essentially, JB, we can talk off. We can talk about what you were thinking this week because I think you had some really good questions and a really good thing to kind of go off of there.
So yeah, one of the topics I wanted to talk about is, so like I said, I do a lot of Christian content. It's what my whole niche is kind of based around, right? And so something I was talking about recently that I've had in my life is how to have undenying faith. So something that I struggle with is that I read my Bible, and I say we're all Christians here, if I speak for all of us, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Correct.
So I'd say that that I read my Bible and I believe in Jesus, and there's I look through all this evidence, but then there's always I feel like there's always a voice saying there are questions that I have that can't be answered sometimes. And so sometimes those are things that creep in, and I'm like, is my faith really undenying if those questions are really creeping in and making me second guess myself? So I was wondering how you guys handle something like that, or if you guys have the similar thoughts.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah. Honestly. So wait, hold on. Can you say that one more time?
So as a Christian, there is a lot of undeniable faith about Jesus dying on the cross.
Yes, yeah.
All of that. You can go look into it. But what gets me is that there's certain things that can't be explained to us. There are certain things that, the universe is so vast, there are certain things that we will never be able to comprehend. So when I think of those things, it kind of wavers my faith a little bit. And so I'm wondering if you guys experience something like that, or how do you guys handle that?
That's a great question, JB. And there are so many different answers that one can give. There's so many different answers one can give. One of the biggest things that I heard this a little while ago, and actually I learned this a little while ago. But did you know that throughout the course of history, ever since the Bible was created, it is the only book, the only religion where the Bible cannot be and has not been destroyed. It has survived through several different centuries, several different millennia. True. It's you can't get rid of it. You can't. I mean, God is real. God is here. You can't get rid of God.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Jordan Peterson. He's a clinical psychologist. He's professed he's not a Christian, but he's a major voice in this nation and across the world right now. And he said, Christianity is a miracle in itself. If it's equally as crazy, if God and Jesus exist and everything is true in the Bible, that this book has been passed down thousands and thousands of years. That's just as a big of a miracle as if it's actually true.
Yeah. I mean,
and this is a non-Christian saying that.
It's crazy.
I think the thing about it is I think about that a lot, JB, and I think to some extent it will always have to be deniable to some sort of logic. Otherwise, there would be no faith. What is faith if it can't be denied?
That's true.
That's true.
That is true.
That's
That's
fair.
a great point.
You can't have faith if you see and know everything.
If
You have
it-
to-
if
That
it's-
is the whole point
yeah.
of having faith.
Yeah, I think
Love that.
it's very easy to deny faith or to not accept it or be willing to accept it if you're not willing to listen, be quiet, and just be still and let God work in your life. Stop trying to control things that you can't necessarily control.
Hear that?
Understand and listen that everything happens for a reason. life will get a lot easier. God will start speaking to you more.
And I think God's plan is humans aren't supposed to understand everything he does. Something as simple as the Trinity, 3 in 1. I still people still can't comprehend that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's why it sounds so simple. It's one of the most complex things.
Yeah.
I think something that really helped me out with that was the book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. So Proverbs is this book that basically tells you like, hey, everything in the world is just. Everything in the world, you do good in the world, you'll get good out. And then the book of Ecclesiastes is like, that's not always true. And it's like that. Just because you do everything good, sometimes bad things happen, and we don't understand why. And then Job kind of ties it all together, where he takes Job on like this trip, basically showing the universe and how detailed it really is. He shows how detailed it really is, and he's like, our minds could never comprehend just how vast and how complicated it is. So we don't necessarily need to understand why he does what he does or how it works. It's more of just having, like you said, having faith in what he's doing.
Yeah. That's hard for us to do, man. That's hard to do.
It's not an easy thing. Faith is not an easy thing to have.
It's not easy. Oh, yeah, that's the basis of the word,
Yeah.
right? You just have to believe.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of give everything away and just understand that whatever happens, happens. And that it's
And
in
that
control.
faith is in everything in life too.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah.
relationships and loved ones and marriages. You have to have faith to truly pursue something worthwhile for sure.
Yes, it's very true. You know, actually, that's a perfect segue into the next topic. I mean, relationships. I mean, relationships are a huge thing that I feel like personally that men don't really talk enough about and how important they are. And I don't mean, you know, having a significant other. I mean, like friends, family, a significant other, like any kind of relationship you have with someone, a coworker or something. They're so incredibly important to just you and your mental health, your physical health, everything, because you are who you surround yourself with.
That's exactly what I was going to go to. It's the old saying, you know, you all heard your dad or whatever, you know, you are who you surround yourself with. That is so true, especially with you guys. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for you. And I hope it's the same way, because I told my mom before we went on this trip, those of you who don't know, we're in Nashville for New Year's. This is why we're doing it in person. This will be done over Zoom or some other service most of the time. But we're in Nashville, and I was like telling my mom, like, I just can't wait to be around them because I genuinely learned something. The conversations are great. You guys push me to be a better human all the way around. So that's how our important, you know, friendships are, especially in guys' lives too. Because guys have a tendency to just act hard around their friends and joke, but we have plenty of laughs and smiles, but we also have those deep conversations about how are you actually doing? How is your relationship with your girlfriend? How is your relationship with your parents? You know, so
Yeah, dude, I made a video the other day about isolation and how detrimental it can be to your health to isolate yourself. Like, I think there's a difference between separation and isolation. I think separation is taking yourself out of a situation that you think is bad for yourself, but still having like that small knit circle around you that you think that can still help you, versus isolation is just completely cutting yourself off to friends, families, other believers, and people that can still be helping you while you're working on yourself or bettering yourself in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So like having those relationships around you, even on a small aspect, you don't realize how much it changes you just to be around specific people on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
absolutely. And that's why prisoners, even, they don't have them in complete solitude. You know, the worst of the worst they will, but they go mentally insane if they're not around just other humans in general.
So even the worst, I think they let them out like an hour or two
yeah,
a day.
yeah,
It's
an
like
hour
an
or
hour or
two.
two a day,
Yeah.
like where you have to be outside and social and whatnot.
Exactly. There's actually thinking around even
Yeah.
you know, people in prison. So
Yeah. Those are good points. You know, I've definitely seen myself before where I've been involved in bad relationships with some bad friends or people that weren't very worthwhile. And it did not lead me down a good path. Not in a sense of like I was doing bad things, but just mentally I just felt horrible. Like it was not a good time.
you want to be around people that make you better too. And I want you guys to speak on, because all three of you guys are in intimate relationships now. JB, I know you're a little new, but you've known Neil for a long time. I mean, you've known her forever. So you guys just speak on how important it is to have really a soulmate to push you, and how that's affected each of you. Jared, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a great feeling. A lot of people don't understand, though, it is work. So I think our society gets it construed a lot when that you think you're just going to find the one and everything's going to be, you know, happy go lucky, and it's not. It's work, but there are a lot of good times, and but you really what you really want to look for in a person is someone that you truly can be yourself around. I know that's really cliche, but somebody that you enjoy. You'll know when you find them, because when you get into the car with them on a random day, your mood increases. It's not about the great gift they get you at Christmas. It's not about the amazing trip you took. It's about that feeling when you get in the car, when you see them.
The everyday.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
The reality, not the vacation.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's true about the work thing you were saying too, though. You know, a lot of people, like you were saying, a lot of people just think this is like this happy-go-lucky thing that this is just going to work and they're just for you and like that's it. No, it's work.
Yeah.
It's work. It's not. And the thing is, like, a lot of people when they get out of a relationship or they think about getting out of a relationship, you know, it's like, well, he just wasn't doing this or she wasn't doing this, and it's like you both weren't putting forth effort.
It's a two-way street.
It's both of you were not working together synchronously, and that's the thing. Is like even the way something that I've learned is just the way to phrase things.
My past relationship, the difference between the ones I had in high school compared to, you know, when I was in college and a little bit more mature is I used to notice everything my spouse was doing wrong instead of, you know, hey, I have my weaknesses, just like you were talking about communication. That's one of mine as well. It's all about half of it is noticing what you do wrong and trying to improve yourself, while at the same time you're able to have that conversation. Hey, this irks me a little bit. Can we discuss this? You know, but you have to be open to change as well. JB, I'll let you speak on your newfound relationship here.
Yeah, I mean,
JB.
Yeah, I mean, my relationship's very, very new, so I haven't really come across any problems like that per se. But I know that, like, from relationships that I've seen, that it's good. It takes work.
It's never
that it's never just you did this wrong, and this is how it needs to be fixed. It's a, hey, this kind of bothered me. What can we do to meet in the middle so that this doesn't happen again? And we're both comfortable with whatever we do. And so another thing that I think about when it comes to relationships from a spouse side is someone, like we've been saying, someone that's going to make me better in my weak points. So somewhere where I'm lacking, I say, oh, they have that ambition that I don't have, or I may be lacking ambition. And I need that from you. I feed off of you when I see you wake up early in the morning. You start doing that, and that brightens up my day. So you see something like that, and it's like, wow, now we're cohesive and we're driving off of each other. It's like, this is fun. It's fun seeing that.
That's a perfect relationship, right? Just pushing each other to make each other a better person. You want to be a better human around someone you love.
Also, to understand that whenever you get into a relationship and that's happening, don't take it as a bad thing. It does. It's a little bit humbling to realize, hey, I have some stuff that I need to work on. I mean, nobody wants to admit that you have stuff you got to work on. Everybody has to work on stuff. Again, you're working towards the same purpose. You're with somebody. But it definitely does put you in check a little bit of like, okay, let's put in the work. Let's get down dirty. Let's get better. Let's improve.
And nobody's perfect, and
No.
you just have to be open to knowing that for sure.
Yeah. So
Where you want to go from here, Josh?
Jared, I see you got some topics that you want to talk about on here.
J-Rod.
Man, a lot of you know I recently quit, you know, vaping and nicotine and stuff.
yeah,
That's
he
lit,
quit. Let's
bro.
go.
I had no
Let's
idea.
go.
Clap it up.
Let's go.
So,
We love to hear that. We love to hear it.
message for all the kids: don't ever start. Trust me.
You 12 hours in, or
No.
has it been a week? I'm playing, bro. How long are you in though? I genuinely don't know.
Like a week and a half.
Okay.
I'm definitely.
But
Dude,
That's incredible, bro.
the
That's awesome.
How's the experience been for you?
it's rough. It's very rough.
Cold turkey, or do you have?
I was using some pouches and stuff towards that. I'm weaning off still, but it's the hardest part. I noticed when one day I woke up and had a panic attack so bad it put me in the ER. But from then on, I had a couple more, and then I was like, dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's causing it exactly, but this can't be helping. And so now we're done with that. But they're still happening, and I think it's a lot from withdrawals, and it's just rough. But
before you go on, I want you to kind of speak about like how you got into it and how easy it was to get into it and how like hard it is to actually break away from it.
Yeah.
That's not talked about much at all.
Yeah, because I think that like for me and Jack and Will, that we don't really see that side, because I see it when I see
I mean,
addiction. I like to
I
speak
do.
on it, and I think there are methods to get out of it, but I don't necessarily have something that I'm
Just
truly addicted on.
addicted
So
to.
I had
Yeah.
I had a follower that I was like, hey, he was like, addiction's not that easy to break up, and I was like, hey, DM me, because I'm completely ignorant to it, and I want to
Yeah.
hear
It's genetic
Right,
too.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to hear
Yeah, it is.
like just the struggles that you have to go through, because I've never had an addiction like
Yeah.
that. So I'm
I-
completely ignorant to it, and
I
I want to
did it
learn more about it.
When I was about 14 or 15, I think I was dipping for a little bit, and then it was being around in high school baseball, just older kids and stuff. And then got into vaping and stuff at about 15, 16, and I've been doing it off and on, but mostly on for the past, how old am I? 23, 8 years. So
Yeah.
I've been doing it off and on, but mostly on for the past 8 years. So
And I just want to say, like, we're the age where everybody in high school got involved
it,
with it,
yeah.
some form or
Everyone
fashion,
was.
because they changed the law because of our generation.
Yeah,
like
we
we
have shifted so many laws.
Exactly.
We have changed so many laws.
the tobacco age, at least in Tennessee, it was 18 for years and years.
Yep.
People used to get seniors to buy, when you're
Yep.
15 or 16, you get the seniors to go to the vape store and buy whatever. And then Tennessee changed it to 21. Hopefully, I'm not around high schools anymore. Hopefully that has helped.
It's still bad. It's still bad. It doesn't, like, here's the thing. Like, I mean, even if we're talking on the topic of drugs like weed or whatnot, it's not going to stop someone from getting it.
No,
you
it's
know?
not.
It isn't. And a lot of this, again, like we were talking about earlier, it has to do with who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
surround yourself with people that are doing that.
And
stuff,
sometimes I don't even think like sometimes it's like necessarily bad people. So like for Jared, for example, you said you were in baseball, and that's like those people that you were in baseball with, like
people.
those are like
Yeah, they weren't-
like those are still some of our closest friends.
Yeah.
like those are some great guys. But it was like the fact that it's just a common thing around the locker room, common thing
Yeah.
on the field to have that. So you got into it immediately. I don't even think it was like I don't even think it was like peer pressure. It was kind of just like that's like the stigma, or that's like the norm around
Yeah,
here.
it's just what. Yeah, I mean, I don't even.
I just want to say how proud, because I had no idea that you were even trying to.
Honestly,
And
yeah,
this is my first time hearing it.
It's-
I
it's
can't
hard.
imagine how hard that is. And dude, congrats! A week and a half's hard, and I know
very-
that it's just a start, but
It is physically tough, but mentally just taxing. Just
yeah.
yeah.
It's exhausting. It's hard to break, and the dopamine. I don't even know if it's dopamine that
It is. I mean, like,
dopamine?
yeah,
Is that what it releases?
you get a. I mean, yeah, you get a dopamine hit every time you.
And that's
you
what
hit it,
really
and
hooks
that's
you.
in long
Yeah.
term, it's stress. It's more anxiety. I think that nicotine has an effect on the brain.
Yeah,
I think anxiety wise.
I definitely feel that now, and that's really what made me, start getting off is just pure anxiety, especially at night, and like waking up in a panic attack or can't go to sleep because I'm in one. It's just I knew I had to stop, but not sure if that's that couldn't be it could not be the complete reason, but it definitely can't be helping. So
It
I knew I
always-
had to get off.
Yeah, start to eliminate things slowly and just
Yeah.
see what happens. Hey,
You'll be a better.
you're gonna feel like a great reborn man here very
Absolutely,
soon, Jared.
yeah.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
We are all proud of you for that, man.
I appreciate it,
Seriously,
man.
I love to hear that.
That's tough.
Anything else you want to get into, JB?
I'm not seeing any, unless Will, if you got some topics, I've talked about everything.
yeah.
I'll-
I talked about everything I wanted to talk
Kind
about.
of jumped around a little bit, so but I think it's good 'cause we're kind of working down the line here, which has
Yeah.
actually worked out really well. But going back to relationships, I think it's also important to realize this is something I've been thinking about and that I heard and I saw. There was something that popped up on my phone the other day of a guy that was preaching in church, and he was basically making an analogy of how relationships aren't always meant to last. People are, God places people in your life for certain reasons and certain things. And though we may think that they're supposed to be there forever, that doesn't mean that they're going to be.
My biggest pet peeve is you hear people that are just going through breakups or that have gone through breakups, and they're like, I just wasted 3 years of my life. I just wasted X years of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
No, everything happens for a reason. My past relationship, I can look at, I wasted that. No, I learned from that.
Yeah.
I made
Sure.
mistakes
Yeah.
through that. I saw that what I could be as a future husband in that. There is so much to pull, and life is just learning from mistakes. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because we all make them. And it's perspective, bro. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
not only just learning, mistakes you made, but also like what you're looking for in future relationships. So
This man just nailed it right on the head. Both of these gentlemen just
sure.
hit it right on the
And
head.
you start to build the mold of what you're looking for, and you see things that you like in other women or
Right.
in whatever you're looking for.
Well, and it's something that you can't just read about and be like, I like it or I don't like it. You have to live it.
Yes.
You have to live it. You won't really know until you do.
Yes. You have to see JB and I on the way downtown last night, we were having a conversation. By the way, we took an Uber to downtown Nashville. Will sat in the front seat, and this poor guy, he could barely speak English. Will found a way to have like a 35-minute conversation with him.
We
JB and I were in the back
talking.
seat, and I say that because JB and I were in the back seat talking about just women and relationships, and he goes, you know now that you want to see ambition in a girl, and you went through your past relationship and you see that, oh, you're attracted to ambitious women and that people want to accomplish something in their
Yeah.
life.
And then going back to what you said about not everybody's meant to be there for a while. Something that you guys need to realize is that when you do separate for that person, that you're not always meant to go back to them. You don't need to go back to that person. And I know why, because before I got my girlfriend with Neil, I was talking to a girl and we stopped talking for a while, and I was like, wow, I want to start talking to her again. And I started thinking, I was like, why do I want to do that? It's because it was so easy.
Exactly.
It was so easy. I was like, I don't have to restart this process of learning somebody new. I don't have to go all through. I was like, they already know me. The conversation is already comfortable. But that doesn't tear down all of the other bad things that were in the relationship before.
Right.
It's amazing. You seem to forget. You only want to remember the good things in
Yeah.
a person. And then you get back in it, you're like, gosh, I've lived this before.
Yeah, and that's how
Right.
those
Oh,
toxic
absolutely.
relationships
Yeah.
happen, because you're like, oh, I'm comfortable. They help me release dopamine when I'm with them. I'm so happy when I'm with them, and then you just stop thinking about all the bad times that you had with them, all the problems, all the anxiety or stress that you had at night when you're alone, just thinking about them
Focus on
sometimes.
that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And even when you're in it, you can be blinded a lot by
Yeah.
some of the bad stuff that's going on. I mean, it took y'all to in the last one really just to come to me in pure honesty and looking out for me.
Yeah. Oh,
So I mean,
Yeah.
But you took the initiative to say, hey, I need to,
Yeah.
let's talk about this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going through.
The good thing is that I think we approached it in a way where we still want to, like, it's your decision. We're not pressuring you, but
Yeah.
then it was also great that you were open to hear us.
it
which
felt,
also
it felt like
something-
I was being y'all cared about me and not about you just want to see the best for me.
Yeah, not
And
like we
that's,
want the
that's
boys
what really
back.
that's what really
That's-
changed.
That's what real friends do for each
Yeah.
other, bro.
And what I like is I can ask each one of you. People ask like all the time, how's for Will? It's, hey, how's Lourdes doing? And a lot of people say, oh, she's good. And then we just go into talking about something else. Will goes, he actually answers the question.
We actually-
and
yeah, we
you
talk
actually
about the
answer
question.
the question. Yes.
It's not like an it's
you
good, just move on.
This has been going on with us. It's been great, or this has been going on, and this happened last week. I'm just struggling with it. It's whatever it is at the time. But you guys actually answer the question. I appreciate you guys for that.
Yeah.
open.
That's
Best thing I ever heard is being hot, honest, open, and transparent. I feel like so many preachers say that today, and it's like I was like, wow, it's great to, like, if you're able to be honest, open, and transparent with somebody, everything just flows better. There's no secrets, there's no stress about it. You feel so much more like you can just express yourself, and you feel more relieved at the end of the day with your friends. If you're more comfortable around your friends and what you're talking about, then you can feel a lot better in that sense.
It's true freedom.
hot. You just gotta be H-O-T.
It's true
Wait 2
freedom,
seconds, I gotta
man.
restart the recording because it stopped after 30 minutes.
Ah. Did it just quit? Oh.
So do you record on the soundboard?
Yeah. So it's recording on the soundboard. Yeah.
Stand by for Small Talk Sunday.
We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
screen whenever it's uploaded to YouTube. Like, hey, we're ready.
Quick break.
Whenever I was
It'll be a quick little break. What happened there?
Whenever I was researching cameras, that was my biggest problem because how like I do like an hour long pods. It's like I cannot have it be cutting out on me and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
But we do
looking for
different
now,
content,
too.
bro. That's
Yeah,
the
for
thing.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, like, also too, I know you were saying like, don't go back to that person. Y'all may not agree with this, but I feel like you can. However, there's a big caveat to it.
Yeah.
There are two things you need to focus on. One, you need to give it a lot of time, not a couple months, not half a year, like a year, 2 years. Like,
Yes.
give it time. And two, you need to go back into it knowing this is a different relationship. This is not the same thing. The person has changed. You have changed. don't expect anything that's happened in the past, and you can't keep bringing up anything from the past because this is essentially it's like getting reborn.
Yeah. And it's also setting those boundaries, saying that this is what didn't work last time we were together. Now, this is what I want to be changed in the relationship from both sides. Not just, I don't want you to change. I want both of us to have changed so that this doesn't happen again, if that's the problem.
Exactly.
It's amazing that you said that because my past one, I did that. We took a year apart and then got back to. I didn't even view like our last relationship as the one we had in high school. It wasn't even. I didn't even feel like it was the same person, or I was even the same person.
Right.
So yes, you need that time away, and it ended up didn't work out. But like we were talking about earlier, you live and learn.
But it wasn't. It didn't work out. It was for different reasons than the first time. Correct?
Yeah.
So like
all different. We were 16, 17 years old, the first time. So
there are definitely caveats to it, and like you can do it, but you just have to do it right. And that's the hard thing to figure out because you can go on Reddit or you can go on social media and find someone saying, well, you just got to get back into it and you got to do this and like don't give it a whole lot of time, play all these mind games. It's like, no.
Cut it off.
BHOT. Honest, open, and transparent.
Yes, whether you have to block them, they have to block you. I heal from people being out of contact with, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
I feel that. I mean, that's really all that I had to talk about, truthfully.
That's all that I have to talk about, but I'd be remiss. We're doing a podcast. I just have to mention the name John Morant, and then we can end it.
You got to hit John Morant. There it is. Got to do it.
Shameless plug. Shameless.
It's not even a plug for my content. It's not like, go subscribe to him. No, just John Morant.
Just John Morant.
The Memphis Grizzlies calling Jack Hampton.
As I have a nerd t-shirt on right now.
You do. He does. He's got it on.
Dude, you're a fan.
Dude, I love all the comments of like, why are you always riding blah, blah, blah. It's just so funny to me. Anyways.
John's incredible, man.
Okay,
You know,
we don't actually need to talk. I was just making a joke.
I'm in cybersecurity. I don't understand anything about basketball, but I listen to this man's podcast, and he teaches me so much about it. Oh my gosh. I still don't know much, but I feel like I do.
My friends are way too nice. Okay.
I mean, I could say
Anyways,
the same
you want to
thing,
wrap
but I
it?
mean,
What y'all want to do? Let's wrap it up.
how should we do our formal outro? Do we have any parting last words? If anything, I'll just cue the music and we'll just fade it out.
Tune in next week.
Peace,
Make
love,
sure you guys
faith.
tune in next week.
Thank you for listening to Small Talk Sunday.
Thank you for listening to Smart Talk Sunday.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in next week. We'll be doing this very often. Key takeaways, if you guys got any, honest, open, transparent. Don't go back to old relationships if they're not going to fit you.
Right.
Look for people that are going to make you better or that you better yourself around. Don't just stick yourself around somebody that makes you comfortable. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and I promise you, you will grow more than you've ever seen in your life.
You just got to do it.
Absolutely. I don't want this to be a conversation just between us four. If there's something you're going through, comment. Your reaction to our experiences or your own experiences. So.
Even just direct message it too. I mean,
Yeah,
just
for
be
sure.
honest. And like, if
Any
you have a
of us.
question you want us to talk about and address.
We'll throw all our socials and stuff down in the
Yeah, well, just
bottom.
look below us. You'll see all the
socials
names
are
and
there.
everything, and then we're gonna have, I guess, the one combined Instagram account or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
All the social platforms.
All the
Things
social
one account, yeah.
platforms.
Here for it, big dog.
So clips and stuff like that will go up on there too if you guys want to follow that too. But that'll also be down below in the description as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we love it. All right,
Would
guys.
you be quiet so I can go get some sushi?
All right.
Here, get some-
Playing.
Sushi's gonna be fire.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the Small Talk Sunday podcast. We'll see you guys again next week. Take care and peace.
Peace.
Drop it.